Something is happening inside you right now. Something you probably don't even notice. It's not dramatic like a heart attack at 3 a.m. It doesn't make headlines or cause moral panic, but it's quietly destroying you from the inside out. We're obsessed with obvious dangers, pornography, drugs, and gambling. And yes, pornography is destructive. It numbs you, disconnects you from real intimacy, and leaves you hollow. But what if I told you there's something far more dangerous? Something that creates the need for these escapes in the first place. Carl Jung, the brilliant Swiss psychiatrist, identified this hidden destroyer. He called it the ultimate betrayal of the self. It's not what you think, it's the unlived life. The refusal to confront who you really are. Jung talked about something he called the shadow. This isn't some mystical concept, it's the parts of yourself you don't want to acknowledge. Your anger, your selfishness, your jealousy, but also your creativity, your passion, and your wildness. Anything that doesn't fit the nice, comfortable image you've built for the world. You push these parts down, you hide them, even from yourself. But here's the thing, what you resist persists. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Your shadow doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It grows stronger in the darkness of your unconscious mind. It starts controlling your life in ways you can't see. Think about people who really irritate you. That guy who's too aggressive, too selfish, too weak. What if I told you those qualities you hate in others are often reflections of your own unacknowledged shadow? You're seeing in them what you refuse to see in yourself. Or maybe you self-sabotage. You're on the verge of success, and then something pulls you back. You make excuses, you delay, and you create chaos. That's your shadow at work. It prefers the chaos of unconsciousness to the difficult work of integration. This internal war drains you. It leaves you fragmented, incomplete, and vulnerable to anything that promises temporary wholeness. And this is exactly where pornography and other quick fixes become appealing. So, what is this unlived life Jung warned us about? It's not just missing out on adventures. It's when your deepest potential stays dormant, when your authentic self gets buried under expectations, obligations, and other people's dreams. Maybe you chose a career for money or status, not because it stirred your soul. Maybe you adopted beliefs not because they felt true to you, but because they brought approval or kept you comfortable. This is the ultimate self-betrayal, trading your genuine essence for an artificial existence. Jung believed humans desperately need meaning. Not surface-level purpose, but deep, resonant meaning that comes from living in alignment with who you really are. When this meaning is missing, when the authentic self is neglected, suffering emerges. But here's Jung's crucial insight. Neurosis is always a substitute for legitimate suffering. What's legitimate suffering? It's the difficult, painful process of confronting yourself, facing your fears, and making hard choices that leads you toward wholeness. When you avoid this necessary suffering, your psyche finds other ways to express the imbalance. Chronic anxiety, depression, addictive behaviors, and that restless feeling that nothing quite satisfies you. The pain is a signal your soul screaming for attention. Your unlived life demands to be lived. Think of a river that's been dammed up. Pressure builds, and water stagnates and becomes murky. Eventually, the dam bursts, or the water dies. Your psyche is the same. It has a natural drive toward wholeness, toward what Jung called individuation. When you block this natural flow, psychological decay sets in. So, if the unlived life and unintegrated shadow are the real dangers, what's the solution? How do you start this journey of individuation? It's not easy. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to feel deeply uncomfortable. But it's the only path to real freedom. First step, make the unconscious conscious. Turn inward. Listen. Observe. Start with ruthless self-reflection. What parts of yourself do you consistently disown? What qualities in others irritate you most? Those irritations are often projections of your shadow. They're clues. Pay attention to when you feel sudden, irrational anger or fear. These strong emotions signal unconscious parts being activated. Notice your dreams. Jung saw them as direct messages from the unconscious. They're not random. They speak in symbols, revealing what your conscious mind is ignoring. Try what Jung called active imagination. Sit quietly, Close your eyes and let an image arise, maybe a figure, a landscape, or a symbol. Instead of dismissing it, engage with it. Ask questions. Have a dialogue. What does it want to tell you? This isn't delusion. It's bridging the gap between your conscious and unconscious mind. This path isn't about becoming good in some moralistic sense. It's about becoming whole, reconciling the opposites within you, light and dark, masculine and feminine, rational and intuitive. Your shadow isn't something to destroy. It contains immense vitality, creative energy, and raw power. When integrated, this energy transforms from a destructive force into a source of strength. It's like refining crude oil, messy and potentially harmful in its raw form, but refined, it powers progress. What happens if you refuse this work? If you continue avoiding your shadow, letting your authentic life go unlived? The consequences are severe. Your spirit withers. Your relationships become shallow. You might achieve external success, but it feels hollow. You experience a pervasive sense of meaninglessness, the slow death of the soul. You become a spectator in your own life. Others dictate your values. Circumstances control your reactions. You're perpetually at the mercy of forces you don't understand. And these forces, Jung warned, are often within you. Unconscious complexes and repressed emotions are directing your life while you call it fate. But for those who dare to embark on this journey, who choose to face the discomfort of self-confrontation, the rewards are immense. You reclaim your inner authority. You're no longer tossed about by unconscious impulses. You gain profound self-knowledge and self-acceptance. You become genuinely centered. Your relationships deepen because you're no longer projecting your issues onto others. You see them clearly and allow yourself to be seen clearly. You find your true purpose, your unique contribution. The meaning you crave emerges from within. It's not something you find externally. It's something you cultivate internally. This isn't a simple self-help formula. It's a lifelong process, a continuous unfolding. But every step toward greater consciousness, every shadow you bring into light, every aspect of your unlived life you reclaim, each builds an inner fortress of strength and authenticity. It makes you resilient to external pressures, to the superficial allure of quick fixes, and to the pervasive distractions that promise peace but deliver only emptiness. This is the only true path to freedom. Not freedom from responsibility, but freedom through responsibility. The responsibility to know yourself, to integrate yourself, to become who you truly are. The danger of pornography and other escapes pales in comparison to the danger of the unlived life, the unexamined self. Because the former is a symptom, the latter is a spiritual disease. Carl Jung gave us the map to this inner landscape. He showed us that the greatest adventure lies within. The greatest battles are fought in the depths of your own psyche. Your life demands your full presence, your full consciousness. It demands you face your darkness, not to wallow in it, but to integrate it, to become whole. Your journey starts now, this moment, with a quiet decision to look inward, to begin the excavation.